Dr. Fatmah, we'd like to welcome you.
Thank you, dear. And thank you for having me with you today.
It is our great honor to have you with us, Dr. Fatmah. Dr. Fatmah is a great expert, and we are so excited about you sharing with us today your experience, your great and fantastic experience. Can you see the slide? Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear. Thank you very much.
Okay, so fantastic. Let's start.
Today we're going to talk about the role of artificial intelligence in digital transformation. Next, please. We will proceed as follows. First, we will briefly introduce how AI empowers business. Then we scan the digital transformation framework and how AI view of a company. We will focus on the AI value principle design, which is very important. And most of my discussion is going to be focused on AI value principle design today. Then we will discuss that companies can be viewed as embedded agent and can be translated to a dominant of companies coping with uncertain environment. I'm still in the introduction. The first slide, please.
Okay, something just as
we are going to show the roadmap to AI digital transformation of business model. We will continue discussing AI digital transformation use cases and conclude by listing AI values and digital transformation. Can you please put the second slide?
it is put. I think something is wrong with sharing. So let me stop and share again.
Okay.
Is it clear now?
Yeah, it's clear now.
Okay.
So AI is advancing technology and is considered to be an engine for economic and productivity growth. In my opinion, it is the umbrella for other technologies to drive a long-term improvement of living standards. Although AI went through levels of ups and downs, it will continue to rise because intelligent business tools can shape the future of competitive differential in the market. During the 80s, AI-based system for decision support system only application exceeded $400 million. Since the 90s, AI entered a new era by integrating into agent technology with application in different fields. An example for the time being is the chatbot for customer services available today. In 2020, AI has been observed as a serious game changer, disrupting multiple industries. We are now aware that AI is no longer a science fiction. It will contribute to, by 2030, to generate about 15.75 trillion, creating substantial commercial opportunities in the world economy. The question is how to adapt AI. I'm still in the same. How to adapt AI to assist the digital transformation in different areas. For example, major and minor global players are going to change the market. We need to understand why it is difficult to use AI and implement AI in business transformation, how to make it really successful, and what is digital corporate business model, how can it fit with digital user experience. We agree with Peter Drucker the author of many visionary books, and probably the most influential management authority of the 20th century regarding his innovation about business view. We add both that AI will empower digital transformation, implying business sustainability and growth. We only need to start our journey in AI based on AI principle design. Next, please. A digital framework, transformation framework, includes actors, requires skills, enable decisions, initiate uh, activities using data that could converse into an actionable information to calculate and evaluate options that increase the performance and value proposition. Now, we need to think about what kind of value proposition that can be added. When it comes to digital transformation, it is not limited to companies only. It is beyond processes, relationship, product, and it has been designed to support values of business model. Next, please. This slide is very important because it describes here technologies and business today in today's economic environment are changed with inherently uncertain, ambiguous, dynamic, and complex situation. So how to deal with this uncertainty and how to manage businesses. And we need to concern how to operate our activities and how to survive in this very challenging environment. It is ambiguous because alternative opportunities can always be assumed to exist and justified. It is dynamic in terms of continuous co-evolution of many actors and artifacts. They are complicated because they have nonlinear structure of interaction, which implies that interaction results in a hard way. Therefore, business innovation management disciplines have to incorporate AI principle design and techniques to support decisions and action within uncertain environment to help the business operate under more secure condition with AI adaptivity, learning, and autonomy. For example, IBM, Sony, Siemens, and more always create new technological opportunities in their laboratories, which have to be translated into new products, new solution, new business unit, venture, patent, and partnership. From the approach to artificial intelligence and cognitive science, we have to agree with AI experts who think that it is logical to view a company as an intelligent embedded system and apply AI design principle to business to handle uncertainties. In today's discussion, I will only focus on one principle design called the value principle design. Next, please.
Doctor, we can't hear you.
I cannot see you.
The slide.
Okay. 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 So the value principle states that intelligent agents are to be equipped with a value system which constitute a basic set of assumptions about what is good for the agent. And once these assumptions have been made, they are no longer questioned, at least for a certain period of time, typically the lifetime of the agent or the company. The value principle is really crucial for any intelligent system that we build, and it is hard to understand and implement in a concrete situation, especially for managers who face fundamental uncertainty and ambiguity. For example, what is exactly is needed is that to technology, we need to consider technology, economic, culture, institutional environment, and think how we should succeed in that, what exactly is the most appropriate structure for the company, and how the company is supposed to sort its priorities and services. To what extent will that be possible to launch the business among customers and investors successfully? We know that most managers understand their opportunities if after long search, for example, and interpret the development if they have clear basic value that can support and guide their thinking and acting. Suppose they know this and they are sure of it, then it would be clear for them whether a new opportunity is safe to be involved in or not. We need to understand that the value structure is not universal and doesn't hold for all companies and businesses. It changes by sector, by companies, by according to type of companies. For example, a family company is different from a public trade company. An individual owned company is different from a smart factory. The technology have entirely different meetings, but we need to focus also on innovation and sustainability, leading edge technology company, and we need to focus how to establish product solution, cultural, societal issues that have different impact than on companies depending on their orientation. The AI value system is responsible for telling the agent or the company what is beneficial for it. There are some fundamental values that most companies share, such as financial, ethical values. Beyond these obvious values, it is up to individual company to decide what is the most important value and how to implement that. In my opinion, cognitive decision process might be among the best solutions that emerge from dynamical systems supporting management decision. The selection of AI type is also very crucial, and for any project that has to be associated and initiated with the value principle. Next, please. Nowadays, the market is occupied by mature users who have become more and more demanding to use intelligent devices, smartphones, tablets. Their apps have risen exponentially during the last few years. They want always more and more. It is not enough to give employees digital tools or to collaborate with them using some kind of social tools to produce added value to customers. Employers, for example, need a digital working place, maybe a digital wearable technology, an innovative room architecture, working time model that support economic growth and support the company itself, a conferencing system, and so on. The existing AI application for customer service, for example, involve marketing, sales, IT, data, or analytics, and more. In the customer service, digital agent or robots and human can engage in these three ways. Virtual digital agents start, for example, at the conversation and transfer the customer to a human. Bots can help humans serve customers, or bots serve customer with human assistance. For example, all of them can identify customer requests, issuing tickets by directing them to the right agent, perform biometric authentication to eliminate password entry, call classification to match agent with customers, uh, call intent discovery, for example, to estimate customers' intent, customer satisfaction, and business metric, serve in customer service responses function 24/7. They also can analyze our customer service activities and satisfaction. They can also assist in survey, review, analytic to analyze open-ended questions, which were something very difficult to do, even for expert statistics. I think the best AI application in customer service are yet to come, since most companies focus on customer service satisfaction as a marketing tool and not improving customer experience or reducing customer complaints. The digital industry and digital transformation uh, is going to assist uh, and solve such problems. Let us, for example, take the airline and credit card industries. In both cases, where customer service need improvement, in my opinion, using AI, both industries have the power of strict regulation. Millions of people have to deal with these industries. For example, airline, customer service provider, and customer support to customers before and during and after a flight. There are significant challenges that need to be improved related to refund, waiting for luggage, and much more to make uh, the customer happier. Usually the complaint remain open for very long time. It is hard to trace or track who is responsible to deliver the complaint to, and even if you find the person in charge, he or she may not be able to refund your money instantly. So what is needed is smart transformation driven by AI in such cases to assist and help customer satisfaction. Compassionate AI digital agent could be used to support empathy, to impact customer satisfaction at marketing level. In my opinion, what is required is more related to cognitive AI again, and actionable AI with more communicative ability. Also, we need to use explainable AI, responsible AI, and special purpose AI for customer service. Fairness, AI is evolving. AI is evolving, such as automated intelligence, which is suitable for document processing tasks, for example, related to customer service. Augmented intelligence is useful, for example, for predicting customer behavior and analytical tasks. Autonomous intelligence using web scrapper to provide the best price to consumer when reserving a hotel, for example. So generally speaking, conversational AI has to take a part in the future, and more involvement to be there and expected. With conversational AI has already improved a little bit the customer service, but positively it has not affected that at all level. We need it to be reflected on reducing cost reducing cost, customer expectation, enabling business models for much better sustainability. Next, please. Here, talking about business model dimension, the objective is to combine business model elements in such a way that they reinforce each other to achieve growth in a way that it is difficult for competitors to imitate. There are 5 dimensions, as we can see. The customer dimension contains the customer segment, customer channel, and customer relationship. The benefit dimension include product, services, and values again. The value added dimension can include the resource, skills, and process. The partner dimension includes partner channel, partner relations, and the financial dimension includes revenues and expenses. The objective dimension, which we need to focus in initiating the digital transformation with respect to time, finance, space, quality, how to do this transformation. Is it going to be a sequential decision? Are we going to use technology? What type of technology we are going to use? Are we going to do some acquisition and exchange of data? From where and how? Transformation degree, how this is important? Is it going to be incremental, or is it going to be fundamental? The objective of the transformation and the object of the transformation. Is it going to be focused on individual, on the entire business model, on the value chain and value proposition, or value creation network? So there are a lot to be considered when it comes to the business model dimension. Next, please. The business model canvas is acknowledged for high usability and well-documented model. It is user-friendly and ready for application by ordinary user. However, if you take a look here, you can see that I have edited the model, adding value to each and every single box. The AI technology aspect of business is very important, but it cannot work without value. And it consists of 4 main building blocks: who, what, how, and values. It can map participants and their interaction in value creation through business model. If we take a look at the value design, we can see that it consists of 4 main blocks interacting with each other: the value driver, the value nodes, the value exchange, and the value extract. Value driver compromise the individual and share motivation for participants to be part of the complete ecosystem. The value nodes are the actors in the ecosystem, and the exchange, the value exchange describe the flow of values between the nodes, while the value extracts function tool relative to the value flow for company to explore and possibly to capture value and create new revenue stream. So let's stop here and ask about the benefit of value design model and why it is needed. The value design model is created and captured in a technological ecosystem, shifting from vendor-centric to a network-centric view. The building blocks here identify the value flow between the different dimensions that we mentioned before, and solved some of the questions related to cost, revenue stream, and other values in the technological ecosystem, and using value extract companies to profit from there. Next, please. Next, please. This figure illustrates the roadmap to AI digital transformation of business model with its various phases and activities. The roadmap for AI digital transformation business model has 5 distinct phases. It has been edited also to include AI in each and every layer and stage. The AI digital reality, the AI digital ambition, the AI digital potential, the AI digital fit, and the AI digital implementation. In the first phase, the company's existing business model is outlined along with a value added analysis related to the stakeholder. In the second phase, uh, objectives are defined for the AI digital transformation. These objectives relate to time, finance, space, quality, and more. Digital ambition determine which objective should be considered for business model and its element. Uh, Phase 3 is indicate or focus on best practice, and it is an enabler for digital transformation. The difference between options emerge from each future business model has to be considered in this stage, and we need to combine and connect all logical manner together. In the fourth layer, the digital fit uh, phase looks at option for the design of the AI digital business model. What type of business model? Since we're talking about the value business model, we will focus on that. This ensures that the customer requirements are met and the business objectives are also achieved. In the last stage, the digital implementation include finalization of implementation of the new AI digital business model. The implementation also include the design of digital customer experience, digital customer creation, network, and resource capabilities should be identified at this stage. Next, please. This figure shows the value creation chain stages, actors, and the degree of digitization. Once the digitization is applied, we need to decide the degree of the digitization. Where do we stand and what has to be done and what is the next step? The stages for the value creation chain for the industry, for example, has to be listed first. Then the actor relevant to each stage of the value creation chain are described along with their business model. And third, the degree of digitization in the value creation chain is determined both based on a uniform criteria. These criteria are agreed upon within the business community. Sometimes, other times within the business itself. The degree of digitization and the resulting business model varies depending on the industry, depending on the time of business model, depending on the sector being served. Next, please. Many manufacturers have already taken the first step toward digital transformation by creating smart factories. Smart factories, we all know that it focuses on increasing productivity by developing complex ecosystem of self-regulating machine and site. The output normally is customized and the resources are optimally allocated, while the interface between the physical and virtual segment of construction assembled and for creating the production. In this ecosystem, we have manufacturer as a factory owner, producer of different machine as their supplier, logistic companies connected to their production processes, their customer that want to get insight in production process real time, raw material suppliers, technology platform providers, solution provider, and system integrator, and so on. All big cloud providers such as Microsoft and others, they provide solutions from different companies, like, for example, hardware companies and solution like General Electric or Siemens, to realize the technology ecosystem that are not capable of satisfying the need um, from by one and only technology provider. One good example is how companies are changing their strategy. For example, the open source solution for industry, OPC Foundation can be there. It is aiming to overcome such challenges of technological protocol. Next, please. Here I will give another example. This example support a wearable technology for digitization initiative. In this example, the objective is to the objective is of the project was to provide the outpatient nursing staff with physical relief through adjusting uh, their posture uh, and keeping them healthier. The approach was divided into 3 areas: a shared sensor to detect movement of the back, automated documentation to be connected with a mobile and to generate a profile for them, and dynamic personnel deployment and a tour planning for them to help them where and when they went wrong and how to correct. Of course, the result of the digitization initiative with wearable technology focused on improving the workplace environment for their nurse, keeping them healthier. Once the data has been collected, it was analyzed with goal to improve the workplace layout and reduce redundant and stressful motion. All would ultimately result in fewer illness, improve the quality of life for nurses. With digital transformation and AI advanced system, a company improved its functionality at the hospital using sophisticated software diagnosis system to store all data, huge amount of data and information to be used from different workers to assist and analyze the patient also, and when to work with them, and how doctors can make critical medical decision related to these data by giving them access to a powerful protocol and tools to diagnose the disease and maybe to improve the outcome for such cases. Next, please. We have seen that the case of value if employers' customer seriously can impact the whole environment. The degree of digital transformation relates to incremental growth of business model with regard to value in terms of employers, customers, partner, industry, competitors, and environment as well. So to end up, we are going to list a little bit, next please, of some of the values for artificial intelligence in digital transformation. These are not all the values, but of course, it is very hard to list them and count them all. However, I'm giving you some examples here. AI saves time, money, and resources. AI helps in predictive maintenance and cybersecurity, as well as scheduling and planning. AI makes complex decisions at a great speed to support managers' decision. AI helps in document digitization, classification, processing, and generating reports as well automatically. I am sure that you have heard about AI generating books already. AI can determine a person's age out of their image and their emotion. AI can detect destructive and unusual behavior to help prevent incidents or, for example, terrorism. Human machine communication can help in taking action on behalf of operators. AI can design airplanes and care using generative algorithms. Of course, we cannot limit it only to one algorithm. There are several algorithms that can be used and different AI types that can be implemented. AI can detect images and reveal components that are not seen by the eyes of the human. It can help to build our skills and confidence and drive the challenging culture changes. And this is going to be implemented with the new system of education. The development of computer vision, machine learning, algorithm assist human to make fast decision in traffic management, and this has been used in Saudi Arabia a lot for security purpose and others. Using the right algorithm can identify problematic scenarios to help machine understand how to deal with each and every scenario. And in conclusion, AI together with value-based business model are making a big difference to companies, driving digital transformation and changing the way companies operate forever. Thank you. Thank you, Shireen.
Thank you, Doctor. We have the opportunity. If anyone has a question to you, that will be great. Of course, Dr. Fatmah, we thank you a lot for your participation and great knowledge. MashaAllah, you are the first woman in the Middle East to have a PhD in AI, and you have been dedicating yourself to help people and teach women AI, and you're head of the AI Association in Saudi. Can you elaborate more in your role, please, and how you can help people?
Yeah, of course, the AI society is open for everybody, not only people that come from technological background to join us. We welcome them. And it is true that it is a very young society, but we have been very successful and we established so many opportunities and initiative already. So anybody is welcome. You can please place the last slide. If anybody is interested, they can communicate with us directly using.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. If they have any question about the artificial intelligence or about digital transformation or anything, I'm ready to answer the question. Thank you very much.
There is a question for you, Dr. Fatmah. How do you see such maturity of organizations in Saudi regarding AI?
Well, I think it depends. For example, if we think about Aramco, I think Aramco is number one, not only in Saudi Arabia, but maybe also at different regions. I'm not aware of all the details that have been implemented using AI, but I know that they are very keen to use it, and they have been using even old AI from the past, and they are going to proceed and develop different systems, I am sure. Of course, sorry.
It's okay. You have been talking for long, so if it's okay.
I'm just drinking. Thank you for allowing me to drink. I think when it comes to the industry and IR4, there is a lot to be said also. And there are great initiatives when it comes to this. Cybersecurity is also an area of interest for Saudi Arabia. And there is a lot that has been done in this area, especially the development of young people and new courses, and as well as, for example, different contests. So when it comes to business and AI implementation in business, I think maybe there are some companies who implemented business intelligence, but I would like to emphasize that there is difference between business intelligence and between AI implementation. And if they, I think they need to understand this difference, and they need to move into implementing AI with focus from strategic level to operational level to also user level. They need to decide exactly what value they need out of AI, and how to implement that in their business, and how to make it successful.
So, Dr. Fatmah, your last question, if you allow us to ask you another question, it's from same guy, Mr. Hassan Shibani. He's asking, as the vision of 2030 is pushing for industrial opportunities, shall such approach of AI transformation should be introduced to them before or during their factory's development?
It can be done both. It can be done before, and it can be done during the development. It depends at which stage they are. And it is easier, of course, to start from the design at early stage, but this doesn't mean that AI cannot be introduced at any stage.
Okay. Okay, last question before we start. Again, another question for you. Does AI implementation require certain readiness with respect to the human capital capabilities?
Yes.
Is there certain human capital audit required before implementation?
Thank you. Thank you for this question. This is a very important question, in fact. It requires lots of readiness, okay? At the human resource level, the cultural level, the infrastructure level, managerial level. We have to understand where we are going and why. So it is not just with focus on one thing. It has to cover the whole thing.
Yes, and we may add that we worked together, Dr. Fatmah, on developing a readiness assessment tool for organizations. If you like to mention it, about mentioning assessing people readiness, leadership, processes, technology, data, everything, right?
Right, of course. All this has to be included, IT units, how this can be, how it can how it can assist manager, how it can assist decision making, how the data is being collected, what the type of data, also what type of analysis, the time of analytic, predictability, what is exactly needed to predict, where are we going. All these are, I mean, it's not one level. It has to go from the top level into the lowest level. So it's very important to understand how to assess the whole business environment and the whole ecosystem, and not leaving a single part or focusing on a single part.
Okay, I would like to thank you, Dr. Fatmah, and I wish if you can stay with us because we will still have Anthony now. And I feel everyone is excited, so it would be great if your time allows you to stay with us and answer more questions. I know you're super busy, so if you can stay, that would be fantastic. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, so now I would like to welcome our next speaker. Okay, Mr. Anthony Hoffman. Okay. Hi, Anthony.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
Great to see you.
No, thanks for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.